Hey guys, I would like to talk today about spirituality. I would like to talk about how I want to talk about the possibility that spirituality or something of that nature or something in that category can take us far away from, um, I suppose, that which houses our pain or that which houses our experiences. And when I say housing, I mean the body. So I'm wondering if we're open to the possibility that spirituality, and I mean something that really takes you away from an idea or an ideology or a philosophy that not only takes you away from your pain and your experiences and your autonomy, I'm going to call it, um, but keeps you away from your autonomy and your body and your pain. And when I say pain, it's not something that you took off the shelf in a shop to buy. It's something that comes from your experiences and something that is born from how the world has treated you or how your environment has affected you or how the choices that you've made have affected your body, how they've affected you psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. So we all have a spiritual part to ourselves, obviously, that needs to be fed. I'm just wondering if you would be open to the possibility that some ideas or some ideologies can take us and keep us. It's the taking us away part is okay. It's in some respects it's a coping, and in some respects you need to go somewhere. Just reminded of like Viktor Frankl and that. So it's there's definitely a benefit to a brief rest period from that which the body isn't able to cope with. There's the after part. There's the keeping you there part. So if you would be open to the possibility that there is there is something that, or there is a way that spirituality keeps you away from your pain and keeps you away from, I would say keeping you away from your pain is keeping you away from your possibility and keeping you away from your capability, because within that, and I know I'm saying it's pain, it's not actually pain, it's just the area that pain exists in. So I would say that it's your truths and it's your um your genuine self. Only your softest and gentlest and genuine self can be hurt by the tiniest of things. Only your most sensitive part can be hurt by, I'll say, the small things, even though obviously some things are large. What I'm saying is that that is the part that hears the the gentlest, that hears the tiniest move or the tiniest hurt, or can hear really everything because of its heightened sensitivity. So would that not be the part that you would listen to in terms of whether something is good for you, not good for you, whether something just doesn't seem quite right? So the more layers that we delve inside, the more the more choices, or the more choice we have in terms of us knowing what it is that we actually want inside. And that part that houses your pain, like, that is your best friend, and that is also the part that will give you really genuine answers as to where or whether or not you should or shouldn't do something, or whether or not you should put yourself in a certain position. And if we leave that part and we don't tend to that part, um, what do we hear? Like, who speaks to us on that level now? So my my question today is, would you be open to the possibility of the fact that something, spirituality is coming to mind, but something in that nature can take you away from and keep you away from that which is very sacred, which is your truth, which is your epicenter. It's the place that you respond at your most realist. Um, and that's just a bit of food for thought. So we're talking about autonomy. We're talking about what takes us away from our autonomy, and when we are taken away from our autonomy, say in terms of spirituality, or we decide to believe in something that's outside of ourselves, it's external, we find solace in this, that is great for a length of time. And anyone that's listened to any of my videos knows that I'm a big believer in frequency and length of time. So it it's not that anything that we do is wrong, it's that how long do we stay there. So it's the length that we stay, and it's also the frequency of contact with that particular thing. So they're factors around whether something is actually good for you or not. So it may not be it may not be one dose of the thing, but it may be that it's too frequent, or that the frequency is the problem, or that the length that you stay there is the problem, or is the issue. So in terms of spirituality, something taking away from something is great for coping, and it also is a testament to the severity of what you're dealing with. So if it is that severe that you need to move away completely from it, you definitely need to go back there and have a look at it, because if it's that big, the impact of it is equally as big, and that will only infringe on your future, your ability to make future choices that are good for you. So if you're choosing from a different space, if you're choosing from the space of escapism, so if you're choosing from the space of escape, you're not choosing from your real space, let's say, your inner self, then who are you choosing for? How do you know what to choose if you're choosing from a space of escapism which doesn't and isn't connected to yourself? Who are you actually choosing for? In that moment, I would imagine that you don't know the answer to that, and you don't know who you are as a result. So the choice is to go in, and the choice is to connect with that part, albeit difficult, or to stay on the sideline and be choosing a life for somebody else. Because once we don't know the self and we're not connected to the self, again, the question, who are we actually choosing for? Just a bit of food for thought. Okay guys, and I'll talk to you soon.